In this video, we're going to be token maxing. That doesn't mean just spending the maximum amount of tokens. It means being efficient and effective with the tokens you've spent. I'm going to show you 5 simple tips that'll make sure you get the most out of your tokens. So first, I have auto mode on. This allows me to just make sure AI can make all the decisions it wants. Obviously, there's safety things here you've got to think about, but if you know exactly what AI is doing and you've specified a good plan and you've given it parameters, you can just go ahead, put auto mode on, and then it'll just save you time, right? And it'll use, the necessary amount of tokens for the job. So this is a token saving one. Essentially, AI is an LLM, which means large language model. So it's really good at doing text stuff. So if you want to produce images or slides or things like that, find a way to codify it and do it in a text way. And then you can get your computer to generate the images. And this will save you significant amount of tokens, right? You spend more tokens on text instead of generating images or a video or something like that. And, videos and images cost a lot of tokens. So I guess this is token minimization or token minning, but this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to put my brand styling in here into Claude, and I'm going to tell it to make a set of maybe 10 slides about token maxing in AI. And I want you to produce MARP slides. So MARP is just a way to make Markdown into HTML slides. So we'll let that go. So I'll put that to one side. And then what we're going to do here is bring my token maxing folder over, and we're going to open this in a terminal. We can open this in VS Code. Okay, so VS Code, let's check on our little MARP slides. I think it is done. It is done. So what we can do is just take this. We can download it or just copy it. Maybe just for speed, I'll copy it. Make a new markdown folder. Now, don't worry if you don't understand what I'm actually doing in terms of the code. This is more just to show you that you should put things in text or code, then generate images from it, and you'll save lots of tokens. So we'll just say we call this slides markdown. Paste that in. Then we can generate the HTML slides. So MARP slides, and we'll just call it slides.html. Run it. Okay, finished making the slides, and now I can just open this in a web browser or just the integrated environment here in VS Code. So I think I'll do that. And these are the slides. Yep, so here we go. And it isn't formatted too well, but that's okay. We can go back to the AI and adjust where we need. So after I finish a big task, what I want to do is clear or compact everything that is going on. So this will save me those message tokens. So what I can do is I'll just go usage, and this will take me to the usage page, sort of how much I've used. And you can see that I've used 12% of my 5-hour window usage, right? So that's cool. So that's just a good diagnostic. Then I can go to my context window by just hitting context. And then this gives me information about how much context the tasks I'm doing uses. And essentially this is a nice little visual, and essentially messages take up this much of the context window. So not too much, right? And so what I want to do is I just want to free up a little bit of space here. Obviously I would do this if this was more full, but for educational purposes, I'm just going to free up some of this. To do this, I can clear everything, but I don't want to do that because I might be continuing to do tasks. I'll compact things, so I make a summary. To do that, you just go compact. And then this might take a little bit of time. It'll just summarize everything. Okay, compacted, which is great. And then you can see, so I'll run this again, the context. Yep, and it's obviously less than what it was before here. So this is what it was before, and this is what it is now. But, usually if this thing is full, it'll compact it to just this. The next very important thing is window management. So imagine you have a bunch of terminals like these, right? Running agents, and maybe you've also got this thing here, the chat, running as well. So you want to have it all nicely arranged. You don't want to be moving these windows around, and maybe this is your actual work here and you still want to be typing and doing work, and you want to have your agents sort of somewhere. So very simple to do. All you can do is just, sort of drag this on the side here, and then there you go. And then, okay, what are we going to put in around here? We could put in a terminal. Okay, so that's like two things, but I have to still like switch back between stuff. So download a program that helps you with window management onto your computer, and then just use that and get familiar with it. And then you can arrange all these things. So I use something called Tactile for Linux. There's probably hundreds more on Windows, right? But Linux is for more codey stuff. So there's definitely more Windows stuff on Windows, right? So all I need to do is I just go press this button, and then I've got this. Now I can just sort of put that one there wherever I want. And then maybe I can click on this one, and then I can put that in W, and then maybe my work. For example, that takes up a lot of window space, so I'm going to go for the top right here. Yep, and then maybe this one here could just go down here, I guess, somewhere. Ooh, maybe at the bottom. Yep. Okay, easy peasy. And now what I can do is just very easily switch between here, my work, here, have agents running, monitoring it, and like just feel free to resize everything if you need. But just have some sort of nice window setup so you can just have a good overview of things. Sometimes it takes a minute before you start working, but it's only a minute of your work, and it's going to make you 100x more productive. You want to use as many windows as possible so that you can get the maximum amount of credits. And the way I do this is with the Claude routines here. So essentially every morning I have a routine going off at 3 a.m. So why 3 a.m.? What happens is my window of credits will start at 3 a.m. And then I usually get up around 5 or 6 or 6:30 or something like that. And what I can do before 7, which is, where the 5-hour window like resets, I'll get like an hour or an hour or two of a 5-hour window of credits, right? And then I get a reset in my credits at 7. So that's a quick way to, use more credits. Now, if you were smart, you would actually have routines throughout the whole day. So I'd have one at 3, then I'd have one at 7, and then I'd have one 5 hours later, 5 hours later, 5 hours, until you get to the end of the day, right? And so that means you always reset your windows after 5 hours. So you get the maximum amount of credits, right? And you can see here the routine I use is just a simple daily brief. So go into my calendar, my emails, tell me what's going on for the day, my Todoist, what tasks I need done, and just go ahead and do those.